Hello and welcome to the tutorial on EduCreations. EduCreations is a basic, simple platform for a virtual whiteboard. It allows you to create and share all kinds of different things that you would do on a whiteboard in person. You can share it with your students. You can have your students work on various things and share it with other students, along with sharing it with yourself as the faculty. First thing you need to do is to go to educreations.com. That's the screen that we're staring at here, and you need to sign up. Again, this is free. This is both a web-based app and a mobile app. If you're putting this on your own device, you can actually get the mobile app and launch it that way, so you don't have to go to www.educreations.com every time you're going to play with it. But if you're using it on a Baker College device, you will use the web-based version. So at this point, you would go ahead and sign up for your free account. And while you would be doing that, I am going to log into my account so I can show you how EduCreations works. Okay, I've already logged in. You can see up here in the top right corner there, it says Welcome Robert, so it recognizes me. And if I click this drop down little arrow there and I go to my account, this is kind of a roundabout way to get into it when you use both the computer version and the app version here. This takes me in through my profile. I'm not doing anything with this, so I just hit save and it's going to pop open my particular screen. And so you're going to go to the new item, and that will give you a new blank screen here. So I'm going to talk about a number of the particular items along the toolbar. This is relatively simple. It's not real complicated. There's another app out there called Doceri that I'm going to have a tutorial on. That has a few more bells and whistles. There's a few more tools. It might be more interesting to use that one once you become familiar with EduCreations. First thing I'm going to talk about is up in the top right corner, that red dot with REC. That allows you to record everything that you're doing on the screen along with your audio piece. So if you press that, you'll see a little clock to the left of it'll form. It'll start counting seconds, and then you can go ahead and hit that and pause. When you're doing some of the other things like inserting images, inserting text, it will also stop automatically and pause for you, and then you have to restart it then in order to go. Let's talk about some of those other tools along the top there. The button all the way to the left, when you're completely done making whatever marks and so forth you want to make on your screen and any audio piece, you just hit done. The four colors along the top, you'll see that when I touch on one, it is surrounded by a white box. That just lets you know which one of these colors is actually on your particular, either your finger if you start writing, or if you're using a some type of a touchpad stylus, that would work that way as well. Okay, so as you touch those different colors. Let's take a look at the little drop down arrow that allows you to modify the colors to any of those other different choices. I can change it to brown, and it's now brown. I can change it back to black. All of those particular boxes have the drop down arrow, and so you have the ability to adjust colors any way you'd like to. I know a lot of people who take this one and change it to yellow, and then they do most things with black and blue text, and then red and yellow become various highlights and that type of a thing. There is, to the right of the colors, there is a T. If I hit the T, I get this little message that comes up. It says tap anywhere to pop some text in. So once I tap, I now get my keyboard and I can actually type in some text and then click outside the box when you're done. The finger button to the left of the T kind of is like a click and drag with a mouse. I can click on that type text and I can move it wherever I'd like to move it. I can duplicate it, I can edit it, I can delete it and lock its orientation with any of the drop-down menus here. So the finger is kind of like a select. I also have the ability to drop an image in. I can take a photo with the camera and pop that right into this particular screen. I can go to my photos library, grab something from there. If I use Dropbox, which is a virtual storage area in the cloud, I could go there. And I can also go to the web and get something from the web that I'd like to put in. We're not going to do anything like that right now. And then we have our left and right arrows. That's undo and redo, just like it is in a lot of the suite softwares that you're using. And then over here to the right is what looks like an eraser, and that's exactly what it is. If I touch on the eraser and I use my finger or my stylus, I can go through and erase whatever I want to erase. If you see when you touch on the eraser, there's a little downwards arrow. I can either clear the ink or I can clear the entire page. So clearing the ink just would be this scribble stuff that I have on here. It would not clear any images that I placed on here. It would not clear any typed text that I place here. I'm not going to do anything else like that. I go back to one of my colors. Let's go down to the bottom here. You'll notice in both the bottom right corner and the bottom left corner, there is an arrow pointing in each direction. I'm currently on page 1 of 1, and you can see that down on the bottom here. 1 of 1. Over here and over here are some arrows that allow you to move to the right and to the left if you had more than one page. If I tap on the right arrow, I now go to page 2 of 2. Notice now that this particular arrow is not grayed out. I can use this arrow over here on the right to make page 3 of 3. I can actually click on the arrow to the left to go back to that particular page, the first page in this particular case. So again, 1 of 2. I have some stuff in 2 of 2. There's a 3 of 3. This is page 3, just so I know what's on them. And again, I can move myself all the way back. The plus button down here in the bottom left allows me to duplicate an entire page and duplicate the page with the ink all over it. So if I already had, let's say I had some images, maybe I was doing some geography, maybe I had some charts in here for math, and I wanted to kind of keep that the same and utilize it for multiple pages, I can duplicate the page and then add my own ink to it, to the image or to whatever the thing was that was on the page, without having to kind of like redo it and build it from scratch. That's a great time saver. I'll click off of that. Now this, just to the left of that, actually right down here, there's kind of a piece of paper, looks like with a folded corner. What this allows you to do, you click on that, you have 4 basic choices of the types of screens you can have. The default is always the white paper, that's what we're on now. But you could also have line paper. This might help you actually line up some text from a stylus or a finger written point of view. And then there's graph paper. This could actually help you do some math, or maybe in an interior design course or something like that, where you were trying to create a diagram and identify some things that way. And then there's a coordinate grid. So if you want to think of this as the X and Y axis, you could actually plot some points, that type of a thing, and do your slope and what have you. So a number of different features here, still basically very easy to use, very easy to learn how to use, relatively simple. So that's a good way to go. Also, just to point it out to you, I'm not going to do anything with it, but right up here in the top again is that record button, and as you click it, it will not only record everything you do on the screen, but will also record your voice. So if you would like to narrate along the way, it would allow you to do that on the particular screen. And again, anytime you're going to add any text or any images, it will automatically stop for you, let you do what you need to do, and then you'll have to go back to that record button and press it again in order to get that recording to restart. That's only with images and text. So let's assume we got everything we want here. We are all done. I'll hit done. Oh, I didn't record my image. Yeah. So actually, it looks like they want you to record the image even if you don't need to have the audio piece. So I can just do my thing again, just to show you. And then I will record all this. You can see that the timer starts up in the corner to the right of that is the pause button. So if I'm doing anything here, if I'm writing, I don't have to hit the pause button. It will allow me to do what I want. When I get over to the point where I'm going to hit the T to insert some text, as soon as I do this, it's going to stop on me and allow me to put the text box in. I will have to go over and change it back to record in order to continue. You can see it says recording is paused while you enter text. I'm going to click someplace, hit my text, click out of it. Notice it still says 27 seconds, so I have to hit that record button in order to have it continue. But it will record all the strokes that I'm going to have as I'm doing the strokes. Okay, so I will hit done. I will now hit done. Here's where I can save my lesson or I can start over, which is essentially what I did because I didn't hit the record from the get-go. That's because I was trying to show you all the different features. So if we save our lesson, we can give it a title. Whatever we want to do from a description point of view. We can decide to keep this private and only share it with those that we want to share it. We can actually put it out on educreations.com. That would be the public side of it. We can share it specifically with your students. We could actually get a document and email it to a group if you had a distribution list and or the school. Right now I'm just going to click mine as private. This tells me how I'm logged in. I can actually put it in a particular category if I wanted to keep it separated, if I have a number of different types of these things that I make. And then there's also other. You just hit save and it's going to save your lesson. I can now hit done or it'll disappear. So again, I can hit the blue box up in the left corner for a new lesson, or I can go into any of these particular lessons here that I have. If I go over to the right here, I have the ability to, let's show you that again. This is kind of like how do I get this out? How do I share it? How do I move it? If I click on that, I'm going to get various choices. I can take these and either Facebook them out, I can tweet them out. That little envelope is mail, or I actually get a link that I can send out. Okay, so hopefully that's easy enough for you. If you start using this, find some great functionality to it, but would like a few more bells and whistles, don't forget to check out Doceri, which is the same type of an app, but it's kicked up a little bit with a few additional tools. Thanks.